anything negative about the child that you know. So you can only say, if Chloe or you say anything that's negative, just stop them and say, sorry, don't want to know. Yeah. How are we done? Done? Okay, now move on to the second bit, but talk to somebody different. So if you've got a different, their second strength, discuss that rather than the same thing as you just discussed.
Oh,
so if you're Kieran, you can. Cool, thereabouts. How are you finding it to think about that child?
I think some things it's really easy to apply it, but when you don't know, like for instance, obviously Helen coaches her lesson all the time, so she knows the parents' work, she knows the parents' work, blah, blah, blah. When you just see it in school all the time, you don't think about it, so it's hard to do like the examples.
Yeah, okay. And I think that's probably where we fit within their lives. They see us now and again, but if you can try and, because when they've done this, we'll know exactly what their strengths are. And so just by you talking about their strengths, hopefully you'll be able to see them in a slightly different light. Okay, just do the third part. So talk to somebody else about their third strength. So you two sit there and make the guys move. All right. Yeah. Have you got the piece? What was the third one? What's your third one? Cool. All right.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. So it's quite nice to talk about them, but what we want to help them do is make those three things happen together. So just go back to your child and their three strengths, and just take a minute, see if you can think of how those three things could work together in one or two ways. So if I give you an example, it might be that this child who's got a skill, let's say skateboarding, they've got a strong parent factor and they've got a strong money factor. The parents might ask the child to save up or do some jobs around the house to earn a bit of money so they could go to the new skateboard park in wherever. That would then create their little moment. Okay. Does that make sense? If you just jot down, because then you're going to explain what you think would happen. Unless you can do it off the top of your head. Unless you can do it off the top of your head. Yeah. Comfortable? Yeah. Okay. Right. Who wants to go first?
I'll go.
Thanks, Chloe. What were the three factors?
Three are skill, peer, and community factor.
Okay.
So I think like, the best way to combine them is probably going to like an outside club, outside of school,
Yep.
with his friends in his like particular sport that he's really skilled in.
What was the skill?
Rugby. He's really good at rugby.
Okay.
He's got a good group of friends, and I know he does play for an outside rugby team anyway, so I think that also it's good for me.
So it's probably happening
Yeah.
already. The key with this is, do they recognise that they're their highest strengths, and do they recognise that it's happening? If they don't, then they can't make it happen more often. That's the sort of key message. Kieran, do you want to go? What are the three?
Was the skill factor,
Yep.
the peer factor, and the community factor.
And the
Community factor.
okay. So what have we got? Something different. If you can think of something different.
No, really. It's a lad that I play football, so I know him quite well.
Okay.
He comes to me, he's good, like he's my captain, so
Yeah.
he gets on with everyone in the team. Good goalie.
Yeah.
And I know he goes to like boys club, and I know he goes to church outside of school
Yeah.
and stuff like that as well.
So maybe, if you think of it slightly different, then rather than just saying go to a football club and take his mates along because that's his skill, maybe you think of the community side of it. And if he might set up a football team from the church,
Yeah.
that might be the way that he would look at it. That would help him. Okay. It might be very similar to Chloe's child, that they go to a football club, they see the mates, and they play for the local team. That might be their skill, but if they don't recognise it, then you can't help them to understand. Helen?
Mine would be a money parent skill. And it's kind of already happening at the minute that parents are well off, so money isn't an issue. At the same time, she understands, like the girl understands how much things cost.
Yep.
And it isn't just like, oh, I want that, like, I get it, kind of thing.
Yep. So
But
does she save? Does she have to save up?
I don't know whether she personally has to save, but the money isn't just thrown at her.
Mm-hmm.
It's given when needed,
Right, okay.
but not all the time, sort of thing. And like say, like the time that she spends like on a session, like she values it because like at the end of the day she knows that they're having to pay for it.
Yeah, okay.
The parents are like really, really, really supportive of her, but like talk, like get involved where they can as well to support her in the skill development.
Okay.
So her dad isn't from a hockey background, but is from a creative background, so he wants to know, like he'll talk to me to know what he can do with her in a session,
Okay.
like if I can't go to a session. So they're helping us support her with the skills as well, and like the other areas of sport in terms of fitness that you can help her with as well. So
Yeah.
they will definitely cover.
So to make it happen, those three things happen. She comes to your hockey. She's got a value on the money side of it, and it's a skill. And the skill is hockey. I guess the only thing I'd say there is the money factor. Is that a lot of times, and it might not be relevant with this child, but if somebody's got loads of money and they just get stuff, even if
It looks like a lot of the girls that go to our private school girls
really important, because those kids who are just spoiled have no value on money, and when they leave home, and mummy and daddy aren't going to pay for everything because they need to get a job, and they've not got the skills to possibly find that job that's going to pay them a lot of money to have the same lifestyle, that's when it becomes a bit of an issue. But that sounds like that girl has got her head screwed on. Cool.
Mine was the parent, skill and family.
Okay.
It's Harry Burrows at Bringhurst. He loves football.
Yeah.
So his skill is fantastic at it. He's playing against the year sixes.
Yeah.
He's got a student ticket at Leicester. So
That's
he's
not bad.
about his relationship there. He watches football.
He knows that the most knowledgeable.
Oh, it's little Harry, isn't it?
7-year-old about
Oh, yeah, I know.
ever meet.
Yeah.
When I first went there, Luke told him that I played for Leicester Ladies. He's like, do you know? And listening to music at like Leicester players,
Yeah.
but like ladies. I was like, no, don't know.
No,
He's at Leicester City. I spoke to him about football at Harvard. He said that his cousin plays at Harvard team. He watches it all the time, so I've got my family.
Yeah.
Such close with them as well.
Okay.
So that's why they're all playing.
So his moment would be.
Skills football. It's just families.
No, well, when would it all happen together? What's the point
Going to a football match. I'd say.
with his family?
Yeah.
Okay. It might be as simple as that. It might be that he loves that. It might be that his money factor is one thing as well, and he might have to save up to buy his own ticket once in a blue moon. Do you know, that sort of thing. If these three things happen together for these children, how do you think they feel when it does happen? Feel really good. Definitely feel pretty good. And it's a sort of a safe place as well. Something that they know they enjoy. And the reason we want to let them know that they're their strengths are purely because if something rubbish happens in their life and somebody might leave the home, it might be just that they go from primary school to secondary school. And some kids are scared to death about that change, going from a little village school, 100 kids, to going to 1,500 kids at Welland Park. They're scared to death, and they think suddenly their life's rubbish and they've got nothing to fall back on. Now, if they know that this is there, then they can just build on that and feel comfortable that they've got somewhere that is constant and is good. Now, what we also try and help them do is if they've got three things that are working, is there a flow-on effect that we can help them with? And the flow-on effect, I mean by, is there something that you can add into those three as well? So if it's the skill, community, and what's yours, Kieran? And peer. What would be the next element that might make them feel really good as well? So would it possibly be parents coming to watch that match that might make them feel even more special? Do you know what I mean? If we can make their three strengths are really strong when they happen together, but the flow-on effect is that everything else just has a little lift as well, because the parents go and watch that football match that they've been talking about for ages. They might even invite aunties and uncles and make a proper family day of it. They might then go and do an assembly at school about that football match. And so everything just feels a bit lifted, you know, a bit better for them. So the children, what we're trying to do is let them walk away knowing their strengths, so they can make it happen.